Hello, my name's Sammy. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to talk today about the rest of the books that I want to read for the month of April. I've already started reading and I finished one book and I'm in the middle of another book, which I'll talk about right now. But I just wanted to kind of do a belated April TBR of books that I'm hoping I can get to this month. And if not, I'll probably just push it back to May, which I can't believe we're already in April and I'm already thinking about May. It's kind of weird. Anyway, the book that I'm currently reading, I mentioned in my previous video, it's America Is Not the Heart by Elaine Castillo. I am almost done. I have like this much left. I'm on page 327 and there are only 406 pages, so I'm almost done. I'm enjoying it so far. I have a couple things that I don't really like as much, but I'll talk about that in my wrap-up video. But yeah, so I'm hoping I can finish that today actually, and then I'm going to jump into some other books. The first book I have here is Bodily Harm by Margaret Atwood. I could not even tell you how long I've owned this book. I think I bought this book in like 2011 or 2012, like something insane, and it's been sitting on my shelf unread for it's so short. I don't know why I have not read this yet. But with all of these books, I'll just read you the blurb. I didn't even tell you what America's Not the Heart was about. But if you are wondering, you can look at my previous video. But Bodily Harm, I'll just read the blurb. It's a powerful and brilliantly crafted novel. Bodily Harm is the story of Rennie Wilford, a young journalist whose life has begun to shatter around the edges. Rennie flies to the Caribbean to recuperate, and on the tiny island of Saint Antoine, she is confronted by a world where her rules for survival no longer apply. By turns comic, satiric, relentless, and terrifying, Margaret Atwood's Bodily Harm is ultimately an exploration of the lust for power, both sexual and political, and the need for compassion that goes beyond what we ordinarily mean by love. So yeah, I read, obviously, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and I've read Blind Assassin, but I have not read anything else by Atwood, so I'm really hoping to kind of read and like make my way through all of her books, or most of her books at least. I do love her writing, and I actually did see her speak one time at a reading for, I think it was, I can't even remember the story now, but I did see her speak and she's just a brilliant author, and so I'm hoping I can get to this one soon. The next book I have here is My Absolute Darling by Gabriel Talent, and the blurb says, Turtle Alveston is tough. At 14, she roams the woods along the Northern California coast. But while her physical world is expansive, her personal one is small and treacherous. Turtle has grown up isolated since the death of her mother in the thrall of her tortured and charismatic father, Martin. Her social existence is confined to the middle school, where she fends off the interest of anyone, student or teacher, who might get close, and to her life with her father. Then Turtle meets Jacob, a high school boy who tells jokes, lives in a big, clean house, and looks at Turtle as if she were the sunrise. And for the first time, the larger world begins to come into focus. Her life with Martin is neither safe nor sustainable. With Turtle's escalating acts of physical and emotional courage, the reader watches heart and throat as this teenage girl struggles to become her own hero, and in the process becomes ours as well. Shot through with striking language in a fierce natural setting, My Absolute Darling is an urgently told, profoundly moving read that marks the debut of an extraordinary new writer. I guess this is Gabriel Talent's debut novel, which I always love to read debut novels and support, new coming authors. But I've seen this book cover and this title everywhere, but no one is talking about it, and I'm wondering if it's because people aren't liking it or if it's just not getting the hype that it deserves. I have not looked at the average rating on Goodreads, so I have no idea what people are saying about this, but I do actually love this cover. It just sounds really interesting, and I'm hoping to get to it. It's a little chunkier. It is, let's see, 417 pages, so it's a little hefty, but work is slowing down for me right now, so I'm hoping that I can get a little more reading in and get to this one. The other one I have here, I've actually started listening to already on Scribd. I just have such a, I don't know what it is, but I have such a hard time with audiobooks. I can't seem to retain the story at all. Because usually when I'm listening to audiobooks, it's like I'm doing something else, and I cannot listen to the story and do whatever I'm doing at the same time. So like I'll like hear bits and pieces, but like the story is not cohesive or coherent in my head. And then like I made it through so much of If We Were Villains by ML Rio on Scribd, and I still cannot tell you. All I know is it's about people who are in a Shakespeare play, and there's one guy who is not so nice, and that's really all I know about this book. And I've listened to like, I don't know, maybe like a little more than a quarter of the story, and I'm still like, I don't know what's going on. So I decided to order this one. I do have a used library copy. I took off the library cover deal that's usually on these. But yeah, I ordered a used copy just so I can actually understand what's going on. I've heard people just praise this left and right. It's been compared to The Secret History by Donna Tartt, which I loved The Secret History, so I am going to read the blurb for you. It says, on the day Oliver Marks is released from jail, the man who put him in there is waiting at the door. Detective Colborne wants to know the truth, and after 10 years, Oliver is finally ready to tell it. 10 years ago, Oliver is one of 7 young Shakespearean actors at Delacour Classical Conservatory, a place of keen ambition and fierce competition. In this secluded world of firelight and leather-bound books, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and off: hero, villain, tyrant, temptress, ingenue, extras. But in their 4th and final year, the balance of power begins to shift. Good-natured rivalries turn ugly, and on opening night, real violence invades the students' world of make-believe. In the morning, the 4th years find themselves facing their very own tragedy and their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police, one another, and themselves that they are innocent. Part coming-of-age story, part confession, If We Were Villains explores the magical and dangerous boundary between art and life. In this tale of loyalty and betrayal, madness and ecstasy, the players must choose what roles to play before the curtain falls. So this sounds awesome and amazing, and I wish I could like listen to audiobooks and read that way, but I just can't. So I'm hoping that I can actually understand what's going on and finish this book, and hopefully I like it just as much as everyone else does. And the last book I have here is Watching You by Lisa Jewell. This is also one that's getting a ton of praise right now. I found this on, I think it was Book Outlet, for really cheap, so I ended up ordering this one, and it's a thriller. Lisa Jewell writes a bunch of thrillers. I think I've read one Lisa Jewell, and I wasn't like too keen on it, but I'm hoping that this one's really good. It sounds really interesting. It says, someone knows what you did. The instant New York Times bestselling author of Then She Was Gone delivers another page-turner about a shocking murder in a picturesque English town. Melville Heights is one of the nicest neighborhoods in Bristol, England, home to doctors and lawyers and old money academics. It's not the sort of place where people are murdered in their own kitchens, but it is the sort of place where everyone has a secret and prying eyes lurk behind every curtain. In Lisa Jewell's latest brilliant, bone-chilling suspense, no one is who they seem. Who has been murdered and who would have wanted one of their neighbors dead? Watching You will keep you guessing until the startling revelation on the very last page. So yeah, just a thriller. Sounds really good. I'm pretty sure I've seen people like hyping this book up left and right, so I'm hoping again that I'll like it just as much as other people seem to. And I honestly love this cover. This cover is gorgeous. But yeah, and this one is not too long at all. I guess I shouldn't be looking at the last page since it just said that the last page has the reveal. 324 pages, so not too long at all. So yeah, that is the last book of the books that I hope to get to in the month of April. Hopefully we can do it. I guess you'll see in my wrap up whether I do it or not. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.